is the best YouTube channel? Yeah, I love it. Thank you, guys.
Shout out to recruiting board.
We have the newly named head coach of the Bentley University, aka Money Shot You, Coach CJ Scarpa. Hey, Coach, thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Alex, for having me. Appreciate it.
No problem. So, is this your first clinic as the head coach?
First clinic as the head coach. They asked me to do it. I said, great opportunity, ready to rock and roll.
CJ, and you're a Massachusetts guy, Andover, Massachusetts, played at both Bentley and Merrimack. So what's it like being able to have this opportunity to speak to the coaches from Massachusetts, but all over New England as well?
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I think it's a great opportunity to get, the Bentley brand out there, talk to these high school coaches, great coaches, and just clinic a little bit, speak on what we have going on there at Bentley, and hopefully they can take something from it. Really excited.
Obviously, you guys had a great year in 24.
Yeah, so we had a really good season. We finished 8-2. Unfortunately, didn't make the playoffs. Hopefully we can change that going forward. But really, it's about the players. Got a lot of really great players coming back. We lost some coaches to some really great opportunities down there at Davidson, so they'll be missed, but we got to keep this thing going. On the road recruiting right now, and then starting spring ball here this week, so see how the 2025 team comes together this spring.
When Saj gets the job at Davidson, you become the interim. What's that process like? You're not necessarily the full-time head coach yet, but you're still in charge.
Yeah, no doubt. So speaking with Vaughn Williams, the athletic director, he asked me to be the interim, said this is a great opportunity, and basically every day for me, I approached it as I was the head coach, and then just put your best foot forward each day, and ultimately came to fruition. Talked to a lot of the players, and I know that they're super excited, as well as me. Yeah, it's been good. It was a little bit stressful, but that's kind of the name of the game.
And talk about the interview process.
Yeah.
You had familiarity with the school. You've been working there. Talk about that interview process.
Yeah, it's a great question. Really, each day, going about it as the head coach, but then we did have some preliminary Zoom interviews, which led to the on-campus interview, and really just speaking about the vision that I have and that the staff would have for the program, what Bentley stands for, and I think that's what really stuck out with the people that were on the panel for the interview process, and just super excited to get this thing going.
And what was your pitch to them about you?
Great question. One, love Bentley. I went there as an undergrad, have an affinity for the place. I love the student athletes that go there. I love the administration, the people that work at the school, the proximity to Boston, so it's really good in terms of recruiting for us. And then really high academics. I love the high academics, those kids that we get to recruit, those guys that we have on our team. Pitch was we want great football players who also happen to be really great student athletes, and I think that's the fit for Bentley. And today's day and age, not everybody can go to the NFL, but we can set you up for the next 40 years in terms of that business degree. And so that was kind of it.
I love that, Coach. And then talk about addressing your team the first time as head coach CJ Scarpa.
Yeah, thank you for that. We got the announcement. It was over Zoom, and I know everybody was all fired up. And for me, just keep it short and sweet for the guys. We're going to work every single day to get the culture to where we want to be. It's a daily process, and it takes work. So we're going to work each and every day, and these guys are up for it.
Yeah, and Coach, you're a hell of a recruiter, and you love Massachusetts, and that's why I'm a huge fan of you, and a lot of people are.
Yep.
So let's talk about your love and affinity for this state.
Love Massachusetts, born and raised, like you said, in Andover, Mass. Some great coaches come out of Andover. Great people come out of Andover. I know there's really high-level talent in terms of some high school guys, and that's how we really want to build the program, through local guys, Northeast guys, especially Massachusetts. We want to get those top guys, that maybe aren't going to those Division I schools, but still have a ton of talent. And, there are great coaches that get to, bring those guys up through their programs in high school, and then, those are the guys that we're after.
CJ, if you just want to talk about, the Bentley brand moving into 25, maybe the changes that you'll implement and what the Falcons' future is going to be.
Yeah, the Falcons' future, it's looking bright, but like I said, it's a daily process there. The guys are up for the challenge. We just finished our off-season workouts where the guys got after it, and then heading into spring ball where we really have to, develop the toughness of the 2025 team, see what our guys are good at, because we don't want to ask them as coaches to do something they're not good at. Getting great with the fundamentals and just building off of the success we had in 2025 2024, and then hopefully carrying that over to 2025 with a couple wrinkles here and there. But I think we're in a really good spot with the program, so it won't be a total overhaul, of what we've done, because Coach the Car, other coaches have done a great job of setting up this program for the future, and we just want to take care of that and keep going.
And I always end interviews with, if you want to shout out the people who influenced you and inspired you, because you've been under some great coaches, been a lot of places. So if you want to shout out those people.
Yeah, shout out Coach the Car. He was the head coach here the past couple of years. One of my really good friends, got to spend a lot of time with him. My first job really out of college at Harvard. Tim Murphy, legend, legend of the game, gave me my first opportunity, was a volunteer there. Grew into that offensive quality control really role, and I've had some great coaches who have really poured into me. But shout out to a couple of those guys, really appreciate you, and taking what I learned from them into my own form, I guess you can say. And really excited.
Thank you, Coach. And I really appreciate that. You guys know you should always be following Coach Scarpa on Twitter, the head coach of Money Shot U. Actually, Coach, do you mind if I ask about Money Shot?
Yeah,
How did that start, Coach? I got to ask.
Yeah, that's a great question. So I got a quote, "Don't pump fake the money shot." That was from, that was from really high school. So, hey, you got your opportunity. Make sure you make the most of it. Make sure you take it.
And you've built a brand from it.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. It took off a little bit. Some of the guys, they joke about it, but they think it's a good deal, and really excited about that.
If you're a high school coach around New England and you want to connect with dozens of college coaches like Coach Scarpa about your 2026 recruits, come to New England's Coaches Only Recruiting Fair on April 28th. For more information, go to our website or click the inquiry link below.